here at PCA 2022, and I couldn't be more honored to introduce our audience to somebody that we're actually pretty excited to introduce to you, to promote. It kind of hits the mark on all of our favorite things. This is Juan Lugo from Don Doroteo.
Yes,
I even rolled my R a little bit there. And not only is Juan a U.S. military veteran, but he's entrenched firmly in family values. He's got an amazing story behind the brand, and all of that pales in comparison to the quality of this cigar that I'm smoking right now, was just introduced to. He stopped us in our tracks. The second we lit up, we were blown away by the quality of this cigar, and especially the amazing story behind it. So thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
No, it's our honor for certainly everything you've done for the country. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And thanks for reviving the family story.
Yes, sir.
And everything that you're doing to bring this brand to market. So,
yeah, absolutely, man.
We've got a great audience full of fellow veterans and freedom-loving Americans like yourself. Give us a little bit of background on yourself and the family story that you're working recently to revive.
100%. Hi, everyone. So, again, my name is Juan Lugo from Don Doroteo. Super excited to be here at PCA 2022 in Vegas. It's our grand debut here, and I've been telling everyone, like, we may be a boutique brand. We just got started, but we're the only boutique brand you're going to find with a 14-year-old cigar. And he could tell you himself, the quality itself. I could give you the sales pitch here all day long, but you could tell me how good that cigar is.
It's right from the start. It's something special. It stands out. Needless to say, we've been walking around the show, tasting the best from the best, yep. And this does stand out.
I'd love to hear it. So a little bit about the cigar itself and kind of the origin story and why a boutique brand owns a 14-year-old cigar. My grandfather, Don Doroteo, that's him right here, you see behind me here, he worked with La Aurora in the Dominican Republic as just a humble farmer. He was one of the biggest producers of tobacco for them since 1936 at the age of 16. Fast forward, he passes away 2011, leaves a beautiful legacy to be taken on, and nobody in the family was crazy enough to think they could pull it off, and my crazy behind thought I could, so here we are. I served in the military along with my cousin who runs the agricultural efforts in the Dominican Republic. And we always dreamed of owning our own business in the Dominican Republic, the land we love. And what better than to follow your own roots? Don't shy away from it, go towards it. And that's what we're doing now, and loving every minute of it.
So this is, I applaud any business, any American who pursues the American dream and starts their own business. And,
sure.
We know that's a lot of work, it's a lot of risk, it's a lot of
yep.
stress on family and yourself.
Yep.
And anybody then that goes the extra step and tries to start a new business against all the competition, but even in some cases the regulation of our own government,
right.
It's a heavy lift. So talk about really what inspired you. You could have done anything.
Right.
You had a successful career before this, you served
yep.
in the military before that. There's an unlimited number of options that you could have pursued, but you take on, one of the heaviest lifts and biggest risks that you can take. Mm-hmm. And I know from talking to you before we started, you're super passionate about this. And more than anything, though, that I'm inspired by, there's a lot of people that talk. Yes. Right? Everybody talks a big game. This is quality. Right. This is premium. This is the best of the best. You're actually backing it up with an amazing cigar.
Thank
so, talk about, some of the work, some of the passion, and what your vision for this brand is.
Right. So going back to what you were saying about, having a successful career, I was blessed to, have met my partner Brandon a few years ago. We were, some at the time degenerate gamblers. Now we call ourselves investors. We were investing in Bitcoin and all kinds of crazy cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. We finally had an opportunity to, take some gains off the table and follow our dreams. And so 10 months ago, I approached Brandon and I said, hey man, it's time. This is something that's been on my mind for a long time. I've been following the American dream, so to speak, of, I served in the military, very proud as a first generation American. After that, went to school, my GI, got a degree in business and followed tech for years, but my heart was never in it.
Right.
The money was there, but the heart was never there.
Right.
And this right here it's filling my soul right now. This is amazing. I love that I'm able to tell the story of my grandfather, which is a phenomenal story. It's crazy that, the life he's lived, and be able to try to fill in his shoes, so to speak. And what better way to do it than with a cigar that honors that legacy,
Yeah. So, so how's your family responded to you kind of, picking up the name and the brand and trying to follow in your grandfather's footsteps?
It's been overwhelming. Just love through and through. They, to an extent that a kid just can't believe it. They're like, "How in the world did you do this?"
He's lost his mind.
I'm a city slicker from New York City, and I'm running a farm in the Dominican Republic with my cousin Aaron, and we're producing tobacco. We just had our first harvest in 2021. We sold it to La Aurora as our exclusive partner. We reignited that partnership that my grandfather had, and we plan on having a very, very bright future with them moving forward. We have a couple more lines that we're cooking up right now. So if you think the 14-year-old stick is good, we got some other stuff coming. And it's all pairs with the legacy that my grandfather ignited. It all pairs with what he did, all the milestones that he accomplished throughout his life.
Well, I mean, clearly, I think he's got to be smiling down on you, because this is not an easy industry to launch into. It's certainly not an easy product to create, and certainly at the most premium level, it's an art more than a business function, right?
100%.
And you've clearly nailed it out of the gate, and that is something that not many companies I can say do. Usually they learn the hard way for quite a while before they get the formula right, if they ever do.
Right.
And you've hit on something special here. What about the team and the support from La Aurora and everything else? I mean, can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, yeah. So there's a lot of trial and error with any endeavor you take on, no matter the industry. I've learned from previous failures that if you want to stand tall, you stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
And that's what I've aimed to do from the moment I approached La Aurora. This cigar wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the help of the master blender Manoli Noah. He does amazing work there. And then even the ring itself, the marketing, the booth itself, everything has been done by the creative director we have, Jeff Moss, who is an absolute OG and GOAT in the industry, over 30 years of experience. And it's been a dream come true to be able to even tap into these kind of folks and work with them hand in hand.
Well, it's one of the reasons, obviously, we love not only this industry but the other industries that we serve is it's full of great Americans with high values that really believe in the concept that all boats rise. Right? There's many industries that when the new guy comes along, it's immediately viewed as competition,
right?
And they send out a seek and destroy mission on them.
Yeah.
But clearly through your story and through your approach and perseverance, some of the biggest, most reputable names have stood alongside you to help you get this off the ground.
Yeah, they have. And it's been overwhelming, the love we received here in our big debut at PCA. As you stated, I thought it's going to be a good old boys club where, they're going to brush us off, but it has been the complete opposite.
Yeah.
They keep coming and they keep trying to stick. And I love to see the look on their face when they take their first hit and they're like, hold on a second.
Yeah, this is your first cigar?
You're right.
Yeah. So, our audience is, people like yourself, city slicker New York aside, but, some of them are city slickers. Some of them are just normal blue collar Americans. Why should they seek out this cigar? And what, can you describe what they will experience when they light it up?
Absolutely.
Talk to us about the makeup of the cigar, the blend, and why should they should go out and splurge a little bit and give it a try.
So I actually, even though I grew up with seeing cigars in my family and tobacco and whatnot, I never really took a liking to it until my first deployment in Iraq when I was 22. It was a dry base, meaning there was no alcohol allowed. One thing we could do is smoke cigars. So I said, screw it, let's go ahead and get some cigars. I got a hold of some Cubans, and because they were allowed over there, and I was smoking those throughout my whole deployment. Couldn't find out when I came back home to the States, I couldn't get a hold of those Cubans anymore.
Right.
But then that's when I realized, like, man, like there's something to this. Like, this is pretty cool. And obviously that's like where it ignited and planted that seed in the back of my mind all throughout all those years. But I love the fact that you brought up about, just regular blue collar folk, coming from a veteran background. Those are my people, man. Like at the end of the day, this is all for passion and love. Like if I want to chase money, I'll go back to tech. I'll do that crazy Bitcoin stuff. But at the end of the day, this is me honoring my grandfather, my heritage, my land, and also passing that on to other fellow veterans and first responders in the United States. We're working closely with some of the other booths here who represent veterans, and we're going to do some cool stuff with them with the Bitcoin, but also give back and send some cigars to troops that are deployed right now as we speak.
Yeah, Cigar for Warriors is one of our partners, and we heavily support their mission. Mm-hmm. Several of us know just what a connection to home and a little bit of peace that a cigar brings when you're deployed and you're abroad in a foreign land fighting for our freedom. Mm-hmm. So we fully support that mission. We support your passion project. It says a lot about you and your character. That you would pursue your American dream based more on values than the paycheck. Right. And I fully support what you're doing. So thank you so much for taking the time to introduce the brand to our audience. Our audience knows we can't be bought either. We only promote the brands that we believe in, who share our values, and you do that in spades.
Thank you.
I appreciate what you do, and we're going to do everything we can to help you out.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.